Now, my current goal with the Workhorse podcast is to do either a podcast or a segment under 10 minutes. I would like to do it 5 minutes because I believe that not a lot of people like to listen things no longer, let's say, than 10 or 15 minutes. We live in the YouTube world today. We want to see it now. And typically we'll select something that we're not quite familiar with around 5 or 10 minutes. And that's what I like to do with the Workhorse podcast. Now, I want to define what a workhorse is. I think it's a good idea so you know where I'm coming from. To do that, I want to share about the 3 talents that we read in the New Testament from the Bible. That parable can be found in the Gospel of Matthew. And Jesus' point about the parable of the talents is about those who use the gift of God and those who do not use the gift of God. Those that use the gift of God stay on a narrow path. They stay in the kingdom. And those that don't use the gift of God are cast out in the place of whipping and gnashing of teeth. Those things right there refer to hell. Now, I don't want to go into all the details, but I'm going to kind of sum it up because it gives us a good picture of what a workhorse is. The one that received the most talents and produced the most are kind of like your Michael Jordans, Kobe Bryant's, Elon Musk, and whomever you consider top of the food chain in their industry. The next person that received the talents did not get as much as the first one, and he got a little bit more than the last one. He did produce. He produced more than the last one, but not as much as the first one. And those, I would say, are the ones that were not blessed with extraordinary gifts. They might have been considered your average Joes. They didn't have a whole lot of strength. They didn't have a whole lot of speed. But with what they got, they still were able to produce significantly. A person that comes to mind when I think about that is Larry Bird. Larry Bird probably was not as fast as Michael Jordan, and he might not have been explosive as, say, some of the other players that he played with, maybe like a Dr. J or Magic Johnson. Yet, with what he had, he was able to become an MVP in the league. He was able to lead his team to a couple championships. Larry Bird is kind of like that hustler type, that he will hustle. And he knows how to get things done with what he's got. The last person with the talent, or the one that received the talent, did not do anything with it, and he lost it all. I think of the ones that had a dominant college football career. They won the Heisman Trophy, and they did not pan out in the NFL. They may not have panned out because finally they faced tougher competition, or they did not put in the work. They took their talent for granted. They didn't put in their work, so they lost it all. Now, me personally, out of all the 3, I would say I fall in the middle. I am that guy that has to hustle. I was not blessed with any type of significant talent, such as being extra intelligent, extra athletic. So I had basic abilities, and with those basic abilities, I know that if I put in the work, that I can get somewhere. And I have been to a lot of places. I've been employee for different major companies such as Gold's Gym. I was an admissions consultant for Liberty University. And I was working right before all that scandal with Jerry Jr. happened with him, his wife, and the pool boy. That's crazy. And then after being fired by Liberty University for crimes that I did not commit, I eventually went back to working at a Gold's Gym. I worked that for a while until Uber came along. I was an Uber driver for about 2 years. And then from 2018 until now, I've been working at Amazon. I am the jack of many trades, but I'm a master of none. Through that, I consider myself a workhorse. I am a hustler. I will do all I can to help whatever company out to succeed. I am like a fifth wheel in the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen were wrestling's first faction. Now, I could be wrong on that because there are probably other factions, but they were the first ones that did it right. They drew a crowd and they were making money. If you look at the guys in the Four Horsemen, then they're not so much, say, like maybe guys that were in Evolution, big, muscular, and all jacked. Even though Ric Flair was part of both groups, you know, the Four Horsemen were guys that worked hard in the business. They worked and earned whatever that was given to them. And that's how I feel a workhorse is a person that works hard and receives whatever is earned to them. They will hustle in an 11-hour shift. They will not complain about the climate. They will not complain about the task. They'll just find ways and they will get it done. Typically, the workhorses are kind of a threat to people that politicize management. They are a threat because people that politicize workplace didn't put in the work. They took the long way. They took the short way. They took the short way and they live at night scared. They're scared of the workhorse that's going to come in and take their spot. And so they're going to do all they can to try to steal the glory away from the workhorse. Therefore, the workhorse is the one that hustles. He puts in the work. He doesn't complain. He receives whatever he earned. He doesn't complain. He's smart about things. You know, he always knows his options and he's willing to wheel and deal. And he doesn't allow his feelings or emotions to get the best of him. He has a clear head. And welcome to the Workhorse Podcast.